Hello everybody and welcome back to the next episode of our Minecraft Let's Play Hardcore series. So in today's episode, it's gonna be a little bit of a shorter build episode. The first half of the episode we're going to work on our build for today, and then later on we are going to go do probably some exploring, maybe getting some resources. The reason being is today's build, I want to start working on the Lush cave base. But I don't really want to start with the starter house. I kind of want to go layer by layer. I've been doing some thinking off screen and some planning in a creative world to kind of figure out what I want. And I've decided on, I want to put something in kind of the front area of the Lush cave base as kind of like a little start or like an entrance. And then you go down to the rest of the base. So that is what we are going to work on today. And we will head over there here in just a moment to go get started on that. Before we do, just a little recap of what we did last episode. Last episode, we built this cute little bridge over here behind me, just to kind of gap that ravine instead of having to run through all the trees and around to go over that direction. As back over there is where there's lots of oak and birch trees as well. We have some birch kind of scattered in the dark forest, but over there is where I tend to run to go get some oak wood whenever I need it. And I wanted to build a little bridge. Like I said, it's not overly necessary, considering you could just run around it, but I think it's really cute and I'm really happy with how this bridge came out. Now, I have talked before about maybe decorating up this pathing leading over to the Lush Cave base, and I still might go through and do a little bit of texturing. I just haven't really done that yet, but that's something that we can do later. Other than that, there's not really a whole lot that I've been up to in between videos, but yeah, I'm really happy with how this bridge came out. The iron farm is still running really well. I've been staying on top of the farm, and I ended up finding some carrots at some point, I'm assuming from a zombie. And yeah, just kind of been working on breeding up as well. And just kind of in between chores, I've also been working on slowly building some bookshelves for our enchantment section so that we can work on getting a level 30 enchantment table, especially now that we have the skeleton farm. Then it's pretty easy for us to get levels. So nothing really too much to catch you guys up on other than the bridge being what we did in the last episode, but let's head over to the Lush cave base and get started on today's episode. Alrighty, so I am going to throw this next bit into a little bit of a time lapse, and then I will stop and we can kind of plan out the first build that we're going to be doing here in the Lush cave base. But first things first, I'm going to work on creating us a little path. I don't think I'm going to take it all the way up to the entrance of the cave quite yet, just because I probably need to do some terraforming over there and I haven't quite decided yet how I want to do that part. But for this first little area, I've brought over my little starter stuff, and I've brought over a lot of the blocks that I think I want to use. I'm not entirely too sure what all I might need, but can always run back if I need to. But I think I want to have the path kind of come down over there, wind over this direction, and come all the way down. And I was looking, I've gone through, like I said earlier, and kind of cleared out a lot of the random grass and stuff in here. But I was kind of looking at this little area as having a little entrance area. Just kind of some small little builds, nothing too crazy. And I think I want to find a way to kind of branch down to this lower section. And down there, let me just go into free cam real quick. Down here is where I think I want to put our base in this cave. But I think I kind of want to build a staircase, maybe kind of use this little natural hallway and connect it to up top, up here. Kind of see there's little opening here. So maybe a little bit of terraforming. Definitely going to have to do some stuff to fill in these holes and all of this water. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking about putting the first little starter area over here. But before I get into that, I will make sure to kind of pause the time lapse and talk with you guys, kind of think out what I want to do while I'm putting down this pathing, and then we can kind of plan it together. But first things first, let's go ahead and start putting down our path and work on some terraforming. I'm going to throw all of this into a time lapse, and then we can start looking at what we're going to do for our build for today's episode. Alrighty, so I have gone through and kind of sort of terraformed and kind of started texturing and laying out a path for this area. I have not worked on the staircase back there. That's something that we can work on here in a little bit, or maybe in the next episode, because I really want to focus on getting this section built out. So I was going through and I still want it to feel very Lush cave like vibes, but I really don't like the look of the clay blocks a whole ton, so I went through and started texturing it to still try to kind of give it that Lush cave look, but also kind of prep it for our builds. And I was thinking and kind of planning out with Coda, my fiance. He used to go by Phoenix. For the previous videos, I referred to him as Phoenix, but he was kind of talking things out with me, and we were kind of looking at this area, and we came up with the idea of doing like a little marketplace. It's kind of like a little entrance to the eventual bigger base that's going to go down there once we start putting in our house and things like that. So I think that we are going to put together a little kind of marketplace in this little area. I have some smaller build ideas, like I think I want to leave a pond over there, maybe like a little spot for a fire pit and things like that. So let's go ahead and start getting that built, put together. And this episode might be filled with quite a few different time lapses just because there's a lot that I'm trying to kind of pack into this episode. So I do apologize if it feels like maybe too many time lapses, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw this into a time lapse just because it's going to be a lot of very small builds kind of all compiled together. But that being said, let's go ahead and get started on this market spot. Alrighty guys, I think that we have officially finished up this little market area. Now, I honestly right now at the point of recording this don't really know how the replay for building this market area is going to turn out, so I am going to give you guys a quick like little in-person tour, but I just wanted to apologize in case the replay mod is a little, or the replay like video is a little chaotic. I actually ended up spending multiple days working on this little market section because it was actually my birthday while I was in the middle of like building this little marketplace. So I ended up spending multiple days just because some of my days were a little bit busier than others, so I didn't really have a ton of time to just sit down in one go and work on this. And you know me at this point, I am forgetful and occasionally was forgetting to hit like resume on the replay, so I am very sorry if some of this is simply because I forgot to hit record. So that being said, I'm going to take you guys through and do a quick little exploration tour thing of this little market area, and then we can talk about the next plans for this Lush Cave base, as well as what we're going to do for the rest of the video. Before we get started, you may be hearing this little guy behind me. I finally found a fox. I've seen him roaming around outside of our other base a few different times, but I never like went back to go get a leash and see if we could tie him up so that we could keep him. But I finally did, so he is here holding his little berries in his mouth. I absolutely love him. Foxes are probably my favorite Minecraft mob and kind of like the animal that I feel like represents me. So I kind of want it to be like our little channel mascot. If you guys are up for a little mascot, I think we should have a mascot, and I want it to be a fox. So I got ourselves a fox. So eventually we can work on building ourselves a little fox enclosure. But that is for a different day. We're not going to be doing that today, so he's going to have to stay here for now, but he has some berries and my bed that he can sleep on, so he's taken care of. So obviously we have our nice, like, super duper long little path thing. I want to go through and maybe put some like lamppost. I just haven't quite done that yet, and I'm not entirely too sure if I want to, or if I want to kind of keep this a little bit more like natural and just leave the lighting to the berries, because it doesn't really need the lamppost, and I kind of like how like this looks, but I still might go through and decorate it up a little bit. I'm not too sure, but it comes all the way down here, and then we get to where our Lush Cave base is actually going to be starting. And as annoying as it is, I have been going through and changing everything out to be stone, mossy cobblestone, mixed in with a little bit of andesite and moss. I want to leave the clay to be like kind of just occasionally like scattered in. I know that this is supposed to be a big Lush Cave base, and clay is a really big part of Lush Caves, but I don't know, like it's so loud. It's so loud and frustrating. So I much prefer this. I just think it kind of lets it look a little bit nicer and neater. Kind of makes it look built, if that makes sense. I don't know. Like this is kind of what we're going to be using for the main like flooring throughout our base. Of course, we're going to leave any of the other spots around the cave to their natural blocks, but for where we're building, I kind of want to keep it with like this little palette. I apologize for the lag. So then for the pathing, we're just doing our path blocks, some mud, and mixed in with little spruce here and there just to make the steps a little bit easier. So coming down, this is where I'm thinking about putting like a statue or something up there to kind of fill in that space. And we're going to curve over here. Oh, hello. There's two of you. Wait, I already have a pink one. I'll wait for a different color. But, yeah, I'm thinking about we'll eventually get rid of this water and this clay, kind of bring up this path a little bit more, and then we'll probably start digging out somewhere over there to start bringing down and building down a staircase to go down to this lower floor, and that is where we're going to be putting our actual like house for this base. So I'll probably will fill in this little gap, and it's going to be kind of like tricky, but I want to kind of have like a little staircase kind of like going down and maybe like curve a few times to go down there, but that's something that we'll do in a different episode. So for now, this part is here, and that is where this path ends. I've put down a wall to make sure that we or any visitors don't fall, but we have this cute little like water fountain. We have some wagons. I did include a little tiny pond, and I found a baby. Axolotl. So this is his home. Maybe eventually, I would like to maybe see about getting some like sea pickles or something. Decorate that. We have ourselves a little wine barrel with some wine. And I wanted this to be like a little, oh, I'm so sorry, it's laggy today. I wanted this to be like a little like wheat wagon thing. So I wanted it to have like a bunch of wheat behind it as well. So that is that little spot. Got ourselves this little, I guess like pop-up stall selling all kinds of different little things. This in my brain is like a traveler's shop, so it's kind of showcasing like some random flowers and feathers from creatures that it's found, maybe like a little egg or something that this traveler found during their explorations. And then this little shop that doesn't really have anything specific to it, I just kind of decorated it up with cute little like bench here that I'm really, really in love with how that turned out. I think it's just such a cute little, very, very simple design. I found this dog while I was out gathering resources, so he is now the protector of the market area and our little like picnic spot. So that is kind of all of the little builds around here. Trying to get at like a good angle. There you go. You can kind of see it like all come together. I think it's cute. It's like a lot of like small little builds, and it's detailed without being overly detailed. I think. Maybe it's too much. Maybe you guys think it's too much. I like it though. I think this is a really cute little area. It's a nice little area to kind of like welcome you to the Lush Cave base. And then just imagine this being like the entrance, and then down below we'll have our big grand house, and we'll have a really, really pretty enchanting section. I really want to like put a lot of focus into an enchanting section, since I feel like Lush Caves are just very whimsical already. And then of course we'll have a really pretty nether portal spot. Like, I just think that it's really fun to have kind of like a smaller build area with like smaller builds compiling the small build area before you get down to what's going to be the main build. So I'm really, really happy with this. I think it's really cute. And this is something that my fiance helped me put together. And so I'm really excited to like know that this is something we kind of worked on together. He helped me plan it in a creative world, and then I came through, of course, in the survival world and put it all together. But I really enjoy knowing that he had a part in this. So I think it's really, really cute. And it's all lit up. Of course, we can check with Lighty. The glowberries help a ton. There's no dark spots. I think it's cute, and it's so nice having ourselves that iron farm now, so I can use lanterns to make everything look pretty instead of torches. So I think this little section is complete, and I think we can call it a day on this build. So I know that the start of this episode is probably a little short, since this is going to be mostly compiled of multiple different replays, since I built this over the course of multiple different days. So for the rest of the episode, I don't really want to start on the staircase or a new build, mostly because figuring out that staircase is going to take a little bit of time to kind of figure out how to line it up with where I want it to exit, and kind of how I want it to like swirl around and stuff. So I actually need to go see if I can't find some more wood types and some more trees. I would like to have a little bit more than just dark oak, spruce, and birch for any of the other builds that we do down below. I don't really have any specific goal in mind about what I would like to find, but I just want to see what else is out there. I know I did a little bit of adventuring a few episodes ago, and we found ourselves a very, very small cherry blossom section, which I really need to plant the seeds for that so that we can get ourselves some cherry blossom trees. But that's something that we'll do later. I want to head out and see if we can't maybe find some jungles or maybe a warm ocean, anything like that that's just going to give us a little bit of some different blocks that we can use for our build. So for the rest of this episode, we are going to head out on a little bit of an adventure and see what we might find around us. I know I took off kind of to the south of the base last time I went venturing, so now we are going to go back down to the village that we spawned in, and it has this really, really big opening out into the ocean. So I think we're going to head off there and see what we can find. But I do have plenty of builds, like I've said before, planned for this Lush Cave base. So next episode, we will either start working on the staircase or we're going to start working on the entrance to this cave, which I have some ideas for, but it is going to take a lot of resources, which is part of why we are going adventuring today. I have a few things in mind that I am looking for, as well as just to see what else we can find. So let's go on an adventure, and we will get back to the rest of the buildings next episode. Alrighty guys, I think we are ready to head out on our adventure. But look at this sunset first. Isn't this so pretty, setting over the valley with the little village down below? Oh, it's so gorgeous. I absolutely love it. But I only had enough diamonds for a chest plate and some pants, and I spent the rest of my diamonds on a pickaxe and a sword, which I am not bringing with me right now. Honestly, just because I don't really want them to break, and I would rather not be out adventuring and not really think about it and them end up breaking, and so I'm going to hold on to them until I can hopefully potentially soon get our enchanting table up to level 30 so that I can see about maybe working on trying to get mending on them both. But I have also gone through and gotten us some golden carrots. I'm bringing with us our bow, which has infinity on it, and just a few other things that we might need, some extra iron, wood, dirt, that kind of stuff. And I'm also bringing with us a boat with a chest and a bed so that we can sleep through the night, and hopefully we will find lots of stuff that we will end up needing that chest on the boat so that we can bring it all the way back here. But it is now dark, so I'm going to plop on down to the village and run inside and go to sleep really quick, and then we can head off. Just for directions sake, so I'm gonna go into free cam real quick. So this is the village that we spawned in, and up here into the super bright sun is where we have been settling up our starter base. And last time we went venturing, we went that way. So we went straight from our base, and that's where we found the cherry blossom, very small biome, and a couple of villages where we found our second cat. But other than that, I didn't really come across any other biomes. So now here's the village that we started at. We are going to head out this way into the great unknown of the sea, and hopefully we can find a few different biomes. And I'm not really planning on doing any caving per se, although I do desperately really need some extra diamonds and coal. I don't really need any iron, of course, but I can also just work on getting us a lava farm, because there's lava not too deep into the Lush Cave base that we are setting up our new base in. So I don't really have to worry too much about coal, but lava farms take a little while to generate lava, so I'm kind of impatient. We might do a little bit of caving to go get some coal, maybe see if we can find some emeralds so that we can kind of work on getting these few villagers that are left kind of leveled up. But really the primary goal is looking around for some new biomes. So I'm going to throw us into a little adventuring montage and see what chaos we can get into. Alrighty, I am back from our little miniature adventure. I didn't get to go quite out as far as I was hoping, and honestly and truthfully, it's just because as I was going, I thought that I was going like continuing in the direction outwards, and I unintentionally ended up turning around and right back to a village that's not just too far behind those mountains. And once I realized that I accidentally backtracked, I thought maybe that's enough for the day. I don't want to get myself lost, and if my subconscious is taking me back home, then I think we should go back home for now. So I was looking for a jungle biome, and unfortunately I didn't find one, but I did find a savanna. And I also found a few other things. So this is our stock from today. I was able to find 1 diamond, some emeralds, gold. Just picked up some few sea things for maybe some future aquariums or something, and as well as some extra random blocks. Got a little bit of acacia so we can at least start growing our own acacia trees, some honey saddles, and we did find a sunken ship, so we found a buried treasure map, and of course the villages, which had some books and things like that. So other than that, I just kind of went out there and gathered a bunch of leaves and diorite, and some more fish, just kind of for some future builds that I am planning on doing. But other than that, that's really all that I found, and I think that we are going to go ahead and wrap up the... Oh goodness! Oh, he's behind me! Okay. That scared the absolute daylights out of me. I apologize. But I think that we are going to go ahead and wrap up today's episode here. I am sorry if this did turn out to be a little bit shorter of an episode, but like I said, working on the little market area for the Lush Cave ended up taking me quite a few days, mostly just because I only had a little bit of time each day to work on it, and I'm really wanting to stick to my schedule of releasing videos every single Friday. So I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up the video here. We got that whole little area done, which was more mini builds than anything, but we were also able to go out and get a few more resources, not too much, but we are now only missing the jungle tree, I think. And then we should have saplings for all of the other trees so that we can start planting them around and working on gathering up all of the wood that we need. I think that Enderman upset an iron golem, so that's happening back there. Anywho, sorry for the rambling, but next episode we are either going to work on building up the staircase to lead down towards the main area of the Lush Cave base, or we're going to decorate the entrance of the cave, which is more what I'm leaning towards. So look forward to that next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, it means the absolute world. I hope you have enjoyed the video, and if so, don't forget to leave a like on the video and maybe even consider subscribing to the channel so that you can get notified the next time I post another video. That being said, I will see you guys in the next one, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye!